Hello booktube, hello book friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel and another video. I'm back for another tag video. This is the Snob-O-Meter Tag, which is all about book snobbery. It was created by that reading guy, and I was tagged by John at Must Read More. I think it's 11 prompts and a tag prompt. So let's get stuck in. Prompt number 1. What is your definition of book snobbery? I don't know that I have a specific definition, because I think it can run from there being a snobbery about not reading or reading books through and I think this comes out in some of the later prompts, whether certain types of books are better than other types of books, or whether ebooks are better than paper books, or whether paper books are better than audiobook. I think there's all sorts of classifications that you could apply. So yeah, I guess I don't have a fixed definition. Prompt number 2. Is there a genre or type of book you would never consider reading, such as would you ever read a romance, or if you regularly read romance, would you ever try a science fiction novel? I've covered this before. I think my answer is never say never. I don't read romance novels. I don't have a particular... Actually, I do have a slight tick about romance novels. When I used to work in a secondhand bookshop, we used to have stacks and stacks of Mills and Boon paperbacks. The ones that are like a couple of 100 pages, quite thin, quite quick reads, and they were literally stacked like 3-4 feet high on the floor, because we had so many of them. And I'm sure at night they used to breed, and the stacks would get bigger. And the thing would be, if you passed too close to one of the stacks, the kind of draft from you passing would be just enough to cause a stack to fall over, and then there'd be like Mills and Boon books all over the floor, and you'd have to spend like 10 minutes picking them up and restacking them, and probably stacking them in smaller stacks which take up more space. So yeah, I wouldn't say that's particular snobbery. It's just a bit of a, don't knock the Mills and Boon over, for God's sake. So yeah, no, I wouldn't say I'd ever not read a particular genre. There are genres I don't really read fantasy, but I like Lord of the Rings, and so there is, yeah. Prompt number 3: does erotica count as literature? I don't know. I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, I think there are probably certain, it's like the Marquis de Sade and certain things that probably are quite famous. So like the original Kama Sutra, for example. And there are quite, like Anne Rice, who wrote, is it Anne Rice? Who wrote Interview with the Vampire. I think I'm right in saying she also wrote a series of, can't remember which character, it might be Sleeping Beauty, a retelling of one of the kind of fairy stories, but as a erotic novel. And she wrote it under a pseudonym, so she didn't write it in her own name. I don't know if I'm going to say Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella. It's one of the two. So I don't see. Yeah, I think some can. Does every? Probably not every. And I'm not exactly a connoisseur, so don't know. Move on, perhaps. Problem number 4. Is it better to read classic books than popular bestsellers? No. Either, both, all of the above. I think read what you like to read and what suits you. I don't think it matters kind of um, what kind of type of book it is. Have you ever bragged about reading a classic in order to sound smart? I've certainly bragged about reading classics. I don't think I've done it in order to sound smart. I've done it because I want people to read them. So I read, and I've said this several times on the channel, so it won't come as a surprise to anybody who's here on a regular basis. But I read The Count of Monte Cristo back in January, and it's a fantastic book, and everybody should read it. I don't think I'm doing that to sound smart. I just want people to read that book because I think it's one of the best books I've ever read. So yeah. 6. Do audiobooks count as reading? What about comic books or graphic novels? Yes, they all count as reading, although the physical act of reading is listening for an audiobook. But yes, they all count. So, problem number 7. Have you ever looked down at someone for reading a popular fluff book? A book with little substance to it, for example, a self-help book or a celebrity memoir. I don't think I have. I think I've maybe looked at somebody, on a train reading a particularly a celebrity memoir and thinking I wouldn't read that, But it's a bit like reality TV. I don't enjoy reality TV. I don't get reality TV, but I know a lot of people do, and it's very popular and it gets good ratings for the television companies. But it's not for me. So no, I mean, it's a bit like was it Prince Harry's memoir? I'm never going to read that, but I can understand why lots of people want to. It's not for me. Have you ever been the recipient of someone else's snobbery? Don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think so. I can't think of an instance where I have. So I'm going to say no to that one. Would you ever be friends with a snob? Maybe you already are. Yeah, I probably would be. I don't know whether I am already. I think there's more than one thing makes a person, and it depends what I mean. If it's book snobbery, I think that could lead to some quite lively discussions. So yeah, I don't see why not. As long as it was done, as long as it wasn't nasty, it wasn't trolling people or being nasty to people. Yeah, fine. Are people who don't read less sophisticated than people who do? No. I know a few people who don't read a lot but have massive knowledge about other things like music, politics. I think no, I don't think so. I think do most sophisticated people read? No, I don't think that's necessarily true either. So no, I don't think that people are less sophisticated if they don't read. I think there's many ways that you can be sophisticated. Measure yourself. Based on the answers to the previous 10 questions, would you qualify as a book snob? Maybe a little bit. Maybe I am a little bit. Maybe it's a bit subconscious. I mean, I think people should enjoy reading. It shouldn't matter what they enjoy reading. I think if you don't enjoy reading, then don't read, unless it's for work purposes or study or whatever. But yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, maybe I am a little bit. I don't know. What do you think? Politely let me know in the comments below. Right, tag some people. Anybody who wants to have a go, feel free. And I'll have a look and see who else has been tagged, and maybe tag some people in the video description. So, thanks to John for tagging me. Thanks to That Reading Guy for coming up with the Snob-O-Meter. And thank you guys for watching. And I will speak to you again soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.